It's time to turn your dream into bold action. Let's turn your passion into an authentic and profitable business that reflects who you are at your core. Welcome to the Dream Launcher Podcast. I'm your host, Stephanie Ferrara.
I have been a business owner for well over 20 years in multiple types of businesses, from product-based businesses, network marketing businesses, and most recently, over the last 7 years, have been a business coach. And I am excited to bring my knowledge from not only those previous businesses, but also just what I do what I've done as a career over my lifetime as a project manager, and where I have been able to coach executives, coach project team members, and then also coach business owners. I want to go ahead and get started with really trying, just kind of digging in a little bit further into why we need to really define who our ideal client is anyway. What is a niche? So niche is an industry term. It's not something that kind of the average person would use. It's not a word that the average person would use. You were put on this earth for a purpose. God created you with different skills and abilities, and you have then also, through your lifetime, gained additional knowledge and experiences that you can then use to serve other people. And so your niche is those other people. Who were you designed to serve? And what knowledge do you bring into this relationship, this service-based relationship, that you can then help them with? How can you help them get where they want to go further because you've experienced it, you've done it, or you have more knowledge, or you're further along than they are in that process, and you can bring them in, kind of sharing your lessons learned along the way, save them time, give them exactly the information that they need in the moment that they need it. And then also, you may be a product wanting to start a product-based business. And so even with that, even if you have a store that you're starting, let's say you're creating an online store and you're going to sell t-shirts, are really popular right now. So you're going to sell t-shirts. Who are you selling to? Who are you serving through that store? Who is your ideal client, your ideal audience that you're trying to reach? It's super important to know that, because even if you have a store that is that has a variety of products, you can only speak to a certain type of person or types of people as you do your marketing. When you communicate out to the world what it is that you do, and communicate out to the world what it is that you sell, you want to be able to hone in to the problem that you're trying to solve for them, and know that while you're creating your marketing. So that might be a little further along than where you are in this journey of Dream Launcher. You may not know what is your product, what your product is quite yet. And I'm going to say, even if you don't know what the product is yet, or the service that you're going to provide, you probably have a fairly good idea of the types of people that are attracted to you, or that you're attracted to, from the aspect of, I like hanging out with this group of people, or I really identify with this, or I have this interest and I know that there are others that have a very similar hobby or interest to me that I could serve. That's why we want to create that niche. There are two sides to this coin. There are a lot of coaches and industry experts out there who will tell you, you don't have to, just go for it. Just start selling, do whatever. Don't worry about who it is. But I can tell you that you will be a lot more successful and have a lot less frustration in your business or your ministry, whatever it is that you're trying to create. You will have a lot less frustration if you know who your target market is. And that's what a niche is. It's a target market. Who are you really trying to appeal to, right? And I will tell you, every large company, every company out there has this defined in some way. They may call it a persona. They may call it an ideal customer or target market, but they have defined this. And what I have found through my own businesses and through my own experiences is that the more detailed that I can get in who this person is, the better my marketing is. Because when I do my videos, when I do something on Instagram, or when I do a YouTube video, or I create training like this, I have that ideal person in mind. And when I'm trying to figure out, what does this person need next? What do I need to create next? I'm able to come at that question from the position of, what does my ideal client need now? There's lots of ways to go about getting that, and we'll get into some different ways around that and trying to identify that later. That's more into market research. But even before you do the market research, you really have to know, who are you trying to appeal to? So you need to know, who is that one person? Who is that ideal client? Ruth is my ideal client. That's the name that came up as I created this description of an ideal client. Ruth is the name given, that not given, but kind of really that it came up for me as I defined her. And I was like, okay, well, what is her name? And Ruth immediately came to mind. So I will link with this video when I post it in Dream Launcher. I will link this to that video as well, so that you have this, and I will put it out there as a template so that you can use it. All right, so meet Ruth. She's an amazing creative business owner. General statistics or basic status of her: she's female, she's around 35 years old. She could be younger, she could be older, but when I'm thinking about her, that's about the age that she is. And she's American. What does she struggle with? She struggles with self-worth. She struggles with valuing her own time. That goes into how she plays with money, as far as like, how does she charge for her services, all of that. It also, she has trouble saying no out of fear. She wants to be all things to all people. And then that just really drives her nuts, because she then grows resentful about that. But there's something that just compels her to be all things to all people. She over delivers in an effort to feel that value. What does she want? She wants to integrate her beliefs in God into the work that she does. And that could be in her daily, her job, her 9 to 5, but it could also be in the business she's creating, or the ministry that she's creating. And what are the other things that she wants? She wants to attract exciting clients. So something that she wants, Ruth has probably served people in the past in some way, through ministry, through volunteering, maybe through previous businesses. And she's kind of getting clearer on the type of person she doesn't want to do business with, because that person just doesn't light her up. That person maybe drains her, maybe asks way too many questions, or isn't a self-starter, or whatever it is. And that might be something different for you. But for me, that's what she is. But she's looking for somebody that really excites her, and she really gets excited to do business with that person. My Ruth, my ideal client, also leads others from the heart with authenticity. She's not fake. She doesn't want to be fake. And that's something that really holds her back from putting herself out there on video or in social media, and doing those types of things. So she feels she has to be fake to do that, but she doesn't want to be. And so that's another thing that for what she wants, she really wants to be authentic in the world. Some of the fundamental issues that my ideal client faces. And so she works really hard on her business every day, but often she feels the need to discount her services just to get a customer, because sometimes she's just pushing and pushing and pushing, and she can get defeated fairly quickly if she's getting a lot of no's. And so she'll feel that need, maybe I'm charging too much. And so one of the things that we work with within my coaching, is really to value yourself. And when you value yourself and you believe in your own prices, then the people that are coming to you will believe in your prices too. That is a fundamental issue that she faces. The financial impact. She wants to make real money in her business, what some would call respectable money. She also, I would say, from this financial impact side, one of the things that she also faces is the fact that she maybe has some upbringing that gets in the way of her believing that she can charge, that for the services she provides, that she can charge maybe a lot of money, or what feels like a lot of money to her. So there's some things that we have to kind of reverse out of that upbringing and belief system, so that she can really go after and not come from a place of, if I charge this much, I'm taking advantage of them. You're not. If they're willing to pay that, you're not taking advantage of them. Okay. And you will find that balance of the price that you charge, that investment that people will make in you and working with you, and the authenticity that you desire. Okay. Remember what we talked about up here with authenticity. How important is it to fix it now? Okay. She is feeling a sense of urgency because she has been going round and round and round and trying so hard to make this business work, and feels like she's going in tons of different directions. And so there's an urgency, like, I've been doing this, something's not working. I got to figure out now what's not working. That just quickly shows what my ideal client is, who my ideal client is, how I define her. And those are the things that I think about when I'm creating video like this, when I'm creating the different social media posts, when I am creating new products or new trainings as well. Hopefully that's helpful for you to be able to see just kind of how I've taken the information in that niche clarity workshop, a lot of that, and pulled it into just a succinct page. I used to have that printed out so that anytime I was working on stuff, that was my ideal client. When I was doing a video, I feel like I'm talking to Ruth. When I'm doing anything in my business, it's to serve her. The thing is, there are thousands and thousands and thousands of Ruths out there. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of women who fit that description. And so it's not getting so detailed that it's like, well, there's really only one person. There's never really only one person out there. And so I know that that is one of the things that hangs a lot of people up as they are defining that niche. They feel like they're getting too narrow. They feel like they're getting too caught up or restricted in who they may serve. They're like, but what I offer can help so many people. And yes, it can. Yes, it can. But for you to successfully market, you really need to hone in so that your message hits people. They hear it and they are like, she knows me. Oh my gosh. Like, has she been hearing my thoughts when I'm falling asleep at night, and all of that doubt and all of the things are rushing through my head? Like, is she like hearing my thoughts? Is she reading my mail? Right. And that's what you want. That's what you want those people to feel when they read your emails, when they watch your videos, is that you truly do understand them. And most of the time, I will say, and this is not 100% across the board, but most of the time, that ideal client, your niche, is most likely you 10 years ago, maybe even 5 years ago. You can say like, oh, that was totally me 5 years ago, right? Because I can read this ideal client that I just read, my Ruth, and I can say that was totally me at least 15 years ago. I felt all of that. And so that is one of the ways why I can serve authentically, is because I've been there. I'm not trying to make it up. I'm not trying to just, assume that I know how you feel. I've been there. I have felt those things. I have said those things. And that is the drive that gets me to, continue to go, because I know exactly how it feels. And so that might be you within your business. It might not, but most of the time, especially in the online world and trying to creating coaching businesses or ministries, you're coming from a place of experience where you're like, I've been through it, I've done it. Now let me help you so you don't have to struggle so long. You don't have to suffer through it. You don't have to watch millions of hours of YouTube videos and read blog posts to figure it out on your own. I can take you step by step to, increase your audience, to increase your email list, to create your marketing so that you can then create whatever your program is and really launch it out to the world.
I created the Dream Launcher membership just for you, the go-getter businesswoman ready to take action on your God-given dreams. Let's break through your barriers together. Go to stephanieferrara.com and click on Join Dream Launcher in the top right corner of the page, and I'll see you on our next coaching call. If this has been really helpful to you and you know somebody who might be blessed by this as well, will you share this episode with them? And if you don't mind, go give me a 5-star review. It helps get this message out to more and more people, and also helps me know if I'm on the right track with what you want to hear.